प्रसार भारती अभिलेखागार की प्रस्तुति सदाबहार सुनहरे दौर का अनमोल खजाना।
It was 1947. India achieved independence. On its extreme northeastern part, the Arunachal Pradesh is situated, the then called North-East Frontier Tracts. During the India's independence, this tract was consisted of 4 divisions. The Sela sub-agency with administrative headquarters at Chardwar, the Subansiri area at North Lakhimpur, Sadia Frontier Tract at Sadia, and Tirap Frontier Tract with its headquarters at Margherita. The inhabitants of these areas are multiracial and multi-tribal. They follow different religions and cultural patterns. There are as many as 25 major tribes and 54 sub-tribes. Before the India's independence, the administration of the North-East Frontier Tract was directly run by the Government of India through the Governor of Assam. But the powers of governor over this tract was divested with the implementation of India's Independence Act. Then this tract was placed under the government of Assam. Sri Gopinath Bordoloi, the Assam Chief Minister, called the Prime Minister of Assam, advised the Governor of Assam for smooth functioning of the administration. But the administration of the tracts was practically looking after by the advisor to the Governor of Assam, with its headquarters at Shillong. From 1947 to 1972, there were 6 advisors to the Governor of Assam, who directly carried out the administration of the North-East Frontier Tracts. They were G.E.D. Walker from 1947 to 1948, N.K. Rustumji from 1948 to 1954, K.L. Mehta from 1954 to 1959, N.K. Rustumji from 1959 to 1963, P.N. Luthra from 1963 to 1971, and K.A.A. Raja from 1971 to 1972. The entire areas of North-East Frontier Tract was not placed under the regular system of law of the country, but separately some simple rules were promulgated by the Government of India for governing the tribal areas of the tracts. This system of simple laws were made purely in accordance with the prevailing traditional and customs of the tribal communities. In the village level, the government appointed village authorities known as Gaon Buras, who was looking after the entire affairs of the village and used to maintain law and order. For example, a Nishi Gaon Bura is seen in the screen settling a civil case in the village level.
O kagat ba akim diname dor kanil tagdo akim diname ahir tagdo o boso kaya nami ude gambura so gamo kala me nunye boso yoru si chinam kane kakele goma me mo kakak dame dikni kuberte no kam ule dung boso yen forja to nam sam tungun kampu doni bama pa no kam taya to taba no kam taya to kecil no kam taya to no bekuk ta to
kecil ne na hebi ne
kecil no kam sabam ne pa nyene sibil ba o nyen sibil ko pa bo bolo ma no enyi am jama be anya no ra kon mo iga jiku ka degi ni to kulara jiga so no yen do so ba be
This system of village administration was common to all the tribes of the tracts. The government appointed the competent persons as the political interpreters and administrators. One as mediator between the government and the people, and on the other hand, as representative of the government. They were also vested with judicial powers. Therefore, they heard and decided the local cases and also arrested the accused persons. In 1948, Statehood frontier tract was divided into two divisions, that is, the Abor Hills with the administrative headquarters at Pasighat and Mismi Hills with its headquarters at Teju. With the promulgation of the Constitution of India from the 26th January 1950, the Assam government was divested of the power over the North-East Frontier Tracts, and its administration was directly placed under the charge of the advisor to the Governor of Assam, who acted on behalf of the President of India. Simultaneously, the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, had taken over the powers of administration of the tracts. In 1950, the Chinese invasion of Tibet made the Government of India to realize the vital strategic importance of North-East Frontier Tract. Consequently, with a notification by Governor of Assam on 23rd February 1951, the Lakhimpur Frontier Tract and plain portions of Balipara Frontier Tract, Arbo Hill District and Mismi Hill District and Tirap Frontier Tract were transferred to the administrative jurisdiction of Assam government. In the same year, the Tuensang Frontier Tract was merged with the North-East Frontier Tracts, with its headquarters at Tuensang. In 1952, the headquarters of the tracts were shifted from foothills to the interiors of the tracts, and according to 1950 People Representative Act, the President of India nominated Sri Chaukham Man Gohain as Member of Parliament to Lok Sabha from this tract. It was the beginning to bring the people of North-East Frontier Tracts to the mainstream by Government of India. Sri Chaukham Man Gohain is from Khamti tribe, hailing from Lohit district. He was nominated for second time as Member of Parliament, and he served for 8 years the people of this tract in particular and the nation as a whole. As per the Regulation Number 1 of 1954, the North-East Frontier Tracts came to be known as North-East Frontier Agency. Consequently, the administrative units were also renamed, such as Abo Hills District to Siang Frontier Division, Mismi Hills District to Lohit Frontier Division, Tirap Frontier Tract to Tirap Frontier Division, and Tuensang Frontier Tract to Tuensang Frontier Division. The Balipara Frontier Tract was also divided into two separate units of administration called the Subansiri Frontier Division and the Kameng Frontier Division. It was 1957. The Tuensang Frontier Division was shifted out of the North-East Frontier Agency, which was merged with the North-East Frontier Tracts in 1951. Thereby, the present shape of the territorial and the jurisdiction of Arunachal Pradesh has come up. In 1960, Sri Chowkhammen Gohain, the first member of parliament of the North-East Frontier Tract, resigned on personal ground, and against the vacancy in 1961, Dr. Ering was nominated as member of parliament by the President of India. Very soon, in 1962, he was appointed as parliamentary secretary to the government of India, and in 1967 he was again nominated as member of parliament, and by that time he was appointed as Union Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture. He died untimely on 21st June 1970, and the political vacuum which was created due to his death could not be filled up in the history of NEFA. His contributions to the people of NEFA is remarkable and unforgettable. India-China War of 1962 changed the entire history of NEFA because the effect of Chinese invasion in Tibet in 1950 was the first turning point to know the actual importance of North-East Frontier Tract, and then Chinese aggression of 1962 was another turning point, not only to realize the importance of this agency by the government of India, but to take up some specific measures in the matter of administration of NEFA and with its people. Therefore, as a first step, a committee was appointed by Governor of Assam in 1964 to set up local self-government for the people of NEFA so that these people could be brought to the mainstream of the national life. This committee was popularly known as Ering Committee after the name of its chairman, Dr. Dang Ering, the then parliamentary secretary to the Ministry of External Affairs. With approach-making recommendation, the committee submitted its report in 1965. In response to the suggestions of Ering Committee, the administration of NEFA was transferred on 1st August 1965 from Ministry of External Affairs to Ministry of Home Affairs. In the same year, the nomenclature of the administrative divisions were changed, such as Kameng Frontier Division to Kameng District, Subansiri Frontier Division to Subansiri District, Siang Frontier Division to Siang District, Lohit Frontier Division to Lohit District, Tirap Frontier Division to Tirap District. Political officers were redesignated as deputy commissioners, additional political officers as additional deputy commissioners, and assistant political officers as assistant commissioners. In 1967, the Ering Committee was promulgated by President of India. On 2nd October 1968, the three-tier system of Panchayat Raj was introduced in NEFA, incorporating the scheme of Ering Committee with minor modifications. Sepa subdivision, the eastern part of the Kameng district, and the Mia Vijayanagar area of Tirap district were left out of the scope of the regulation. The status of NEFA Panchayat was as follows. GPM was head unit at village level, ASM at circle level, SDO as its chairman, ZPMs at district level, DC as its chairman. The Panchayat regulation of 1967 provided funds for each Anchal Samiti for discharging its functions effectively. The revenue sources are as follows. Proceeds of any tax, license fees, collection charge of taxes, grants and contributions made by the governor or any local authority or other persons. All sums received by the way of loan or gifts, income from sale, proceeds of any properties of Anchal Samiti, etc. On 20th May 1969, the Anchal Samiti was constituted in the district of Kameng, Subansiri, Siang, and Lohit. On 3rd June 1969, Anchal Samiti was constituted in Tirap district and Roing Dambuk blocks of Lohit district. On 25th August 1969, Zilla Parishad was constituted in NEFA. Agency Council was constituted on 3rd December 1969. In 1969, first ever election of newly introduced Panchayat Raj was held in NEFA, and in total 9 ZPM, 53 ASM and 704 GPMs were elected. GPM was the lowest unit in village level. As per NEFA Panchayat Raj Regulation Act, a group of villages shall form one Gram Panchayat with a population of approximately 100. Thus, democratic election system in the village had ended the chief's hereditary leadership. Simultaneously, village authorities appointed by government as per Assam Frontier 1945 were declined in importance. Anchal Samiti is the only elected body with funds for implementing schemes in the block level. Zilla Parishad was the supreme body to decide the policy and programs of the district. Agency Council was the highest body in the territory level. It advised the governor in all matters but could not participate directly in the activities of the government. The members of Agency Council were the Governor of Assam, Member of Parliament of NEFA, Advisor to Governor of Assam, and other elected members from each district. From Kameng district, Rinching Namje, Sewang Norbu, Nibil Dusisu, and Prema Dorji. From Subansiri district, Tapang Gyama, Nabam Rukhi, Dani Kunya, and Yangte Takyo. From Siang district, Tadak Basar, Kabang Borang, Sutem Tasung, and Tamar Karlo. From Lohit district, Itapulu, Chaupak Gohain, Sengo Kri, and Gora Pertin. From Tirap district, Wangmai Rajkumar, Khongman Longsam, Panwang Wangham, and Hongwang Lowang. The first session of the NEFA Agency Council was formally inaugurated by Assam Governor B.K. Nehru on 3rd December 1969. On 3rd September 1970, Parliament announced to grant NEFA status of Union Territory. On 4th session, it was decided to change the name of NEFA to Arunachal Pradesh. The North-Eastern Area Reorganization Bill 1971, which modified Article 240 of the Constitution, was passed by the Parliament and approved by the President of India on 30th December 1971. As a result, under the provision of Section 7 of North-Eastern Area Reorganization Act 1971, the NEFA was constituted into Union Territory, and on 21st January 1972, Union Territory was inaugurated at zero by late Indira Gandhi, the then Prime Minister of India, and the nomenclature of NEFA was changed into Arunachal Pradesh. At the same time, the post of Chief Commissioner was created and late K.A.A. Raja was appointed as Chief Commissioner, who took over the charge of Arunachal Union Territory. Thus, Arunachal Pradesh remained no longer as tribal areas of state of Assam.